Online courses, ebooks, digital downloads, or billing clients for services, Samcart is where you get paid for whatever it is that you do. At Samcart, you can sell anything and everything using our library of pre-made templates that have been used to generate billions of dollars in sales. Bring your sales page to life with the drag and drop builder. Offer your customers more ways to pay you by selling payment plans, subscriptions, bundles, and even pay what you want offers. You can sell your products as one lump sum or break up those payments into smaller chunks with payment plans. You can grow your recurring income with built-in subscriptions. And these are just a few ways that Samcart makes it easy for you to get paid for what you do. And now built into every single Samcart account is the brand new Samcart courses, the perfect solution for securely delivering your video courses, ebooks, and memberships all in one place. And it is built right into every single Samcart account. With the new Samcart courses, you can create a robust lesson plan for your students and even drip out the content on your own schedule. You can boost your sales by selling different tiers and bundles of your course. And did you know that right now, over 30% of your students never even make it to the first video? Which is why we developed Samcart's auto-enroll technology, which seamlessly takes your students from buying to learning in one simple step. No lost passwords, no support tickets, just more happy customers getting exactly what they bought every time. But what if you're a brand new course creator? Or you've always wanted to add an online course to whatever it is that you already sell? Then do not miss the Samcart Course Creation Challenge. Over 20 videos and lessons that will help you launch your first online course in just 14 days. You'll learn everything from cameras and lighting to launching and selling your first online course. And whenever you're ready, you can showcase and sell your course on one simple page, built with Samcart's drag and drop editor. Easily create high converting sales pages by adding video trailers, countdown timers, and more. Our mission at Samcart is to put the selling power of the world's largest brands into your hands, multiplying your sales with powerful features like one-click upsells, order bumps, and more. In fact, Samcart's database proves that adding a single one-click upsell increases your average order value by 68%. And next are the order bumps. Just one order bump boosts sales by an average of 31%. Create your first bump, and 1 out of 3 customers is going to hit that add to order button and make you more money. Selling subscriptions? Well, what are you doing about failed payments? Your customers' credit cards are constantly being lost, stolen, or expiring. So what happens when those payments fail? Well, instead of chasing down your clients, we created the Samcart Subscription Saver. Samcart automatically updates your customers' credit cards without you lifting a finger. So your subscription payments come in on time, which lets you focus back on growing your business. And for any advanced sellers doing 6 figures and up already, Samcart has all the tools you need to keep scaling. You can A/B test your product pages in real time and let the results guide you to your next move. You can see which version of your page converts the highest and make more money in the process. Turn your business into a well-oiled machine by integrating Samcart with all of your favorite tools for sending emails, managing contacts, and even doing your taxes. Samcart's integrations let you effortlessly track your return on ad spend, create new customer profiles, automatically ship out your products, and keep your team in the loop with updates and notifications. So let's launch your next course, ebook, mastermind group, CPG brand, or digital agency today. Samcart is home to over 20,000 creators who have sold more than $2 billion of their own products and services on Samcart. You can join them today and see why the right tool makes all the difference. Get started for free today at samcart.com.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. What is up, everybody? Jordan Anderson here, videographer for Samcart, and we have right down here Miss Taylor. How's it going?
What up? It's your favorite team, Samcart Blazer.
Yes. Scott has been abducted by aliens. He's not joining us today. He's a little bit busy up in the spaceship. But today, we have a special creator that we're going to be taking over today It is Matt D'Avella. Taylor, are you familiar with Matt D'Avella?
I didn't realize I was, and now I'm pretty shocked, and I'm actually very excited that we're going to be covering him today because I've actually watched one of the Netflix documentaries that he directed. So I'm like, what? So
That's right.
pretty excited.
Yeah. If you've ever seen the minimalism Netflix on what am I saying? The minimalism documentary on Netflix. Give me a yes in the chat. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the takeover. Taylor, let's go over some of the rules. Let me turn our background music down. Let's go over some of the rules for the takeover before we get started. Everyone, this is a two-way street. So throughout this live stream, Taylor's familiar with this too. This is a two-way street. Chat away, ask your business questions, drop it in the chat if you have any questions. If you have any insights, take some notes down for the class. Type your aha moments in the chat. What else, Taylor? What are the rules? Other rules of the Samcard takeover that we do every Tuesday?
We don't do math in public.
That's
we
right.
Don't spell in public.
Those
are probably my two favorite rules that I'm glad we abide by.
No public math. And in the chat, if this is your first takeover, watching the first takeover, type the word first in the chat and welcome. Happy to have you.
Super excited.
All right. Anything else before we get started, Taylor?
I think I'm ready to rock. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So for folks that don't know Matt D'Avella is a documentary filmmaker for the documentary Minimalism, I think, or The Minimalist, I think is what it was called. He then went on to launch his own YouTube channel talking about minimalism. And after, 2015, that kind of went out of fashion a little bit. So he pivoted to his podcast. Taylor, it's called the Ground Up Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Ground Up Podcast talked to huge creators, YouTube celebrities, other podcasters, and then went on to keep continuing growing his YouTube channel. And now he did a series of almost like a Morgan Spurlock's kind of concept. Like, I'm going to do this one painful thing in 30 days, and let's see how it changes my life. I'm going to journal for 30 days. I'm going to take a cold shower for 30 days. I'm going to not drink coffee for 30 days and see how it plays out. And now he's grown his channel. But what we want to focus on today is I think this is almost the 2-year anniversary of him launching two of his courses that he has on the Slow Growth Academy, slowgrowth.com. So we're going to dive into slow growth to see what the opportunities are, where he's missing out, and where Matt could be making a whole lot more money, maybe using Samcard.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's dive in. Okay, so for the takeover, folks, every single time we like to ask these 4 major questions. The first question is, with these takeovers, with these creators, and you can even ask yourself in your own business online, what's the opportunity? What is Matt D'Avella's opportunity? What is he working with? The rule that we always like to say, the fact that we always like to say on the takeover every single week is you should be making at a minimum, and type a yes or a no in the chat if you can answer this question. You should be making $1 per subscriber per year at a minimum. And if you're making that, give me a yes. If you're not making that, give me a no. Be honest. But we're trying to figure out, okay, how do we take Matt's huge YouTube following, his giant podcast following, Instagram following, and how do we convert that into paying customers, paying students? So we asked, what is the opportunity? Taylor, what is the second question that we do?
Yeah, what are they promoting? What are you about? What are you trying to provide to the community that you've built, especially with someone with such a huge audience? I can only imagine the amount of questions that he gets about how did you even get into filming, especially for Netflix? That's huge, right? So how did you get into documentary filming? What made you pivot to YouTube? How do you do your camera setup? I mean, I know anytime I watch a YouTuber who has an amazing presence and video setup, I want to know, how did you shoot this B-roll? What tech are you using? Help. So There's definitely a lot to find out. And it seems that, so far, it's a lot more surrounding the YouTube and filming space. And then he kind of been sliding in some of his minimalist type views into Slow Growth Academy. So that's something to ask yourself, is what exactly is it that you're promoting when you're trying to build your business or your channels?
Yeah, we find with a lot of creators that they have these huge audiences on TikTok or YouTube, and then the question is, what's next? What's next for your audience? If they truly are in love with you, what can, not to say like it's all about the money, but where can they give you their money? How can they show more support? Is it just a donation? Is it merch? Or do you actually have some kind of digital product online that people can access whenever they want to? The third question that we're going to tackle later in the show is how easy is it to buy? And that kind of hints on what we were just talking about. Is it just a tip jar? Is it a donation? Is it a Patreon? How easy is it to buy? What is in their link in bio? What is in their link in their YouTube description? What are they promoting? And once I'm over there on that page, I'm either on my phone or I'm on a desktop. How easy is it to whip out my credit card and purchase the product, course, coaching, whatever it may be? And then we'll move on to the fourth and final question. Taylor, you can take this one.
Yeah, how easy is it to buy more? I mean, we definitely want to encourage creators as they're putting themselves out there creating these products. You have other things to offer, so why not make that available while they're already in purchase mode? And oftentimes we find that this is probably the question where it gets a little spicy for people, because it's like, I don't really have anything else. And if they do have something else, they're buried under, tons and tons of pages on someone's website. So we always want to bring that question to the forefront of how easy is it for you to, upsell something to somebody? You think about going to the cash register at a gas station. Not only did you just pump gas, but you've got candy, you've got mints, you've got power cords, all of that around you in order to give you an opportunity to get something else that you need.
That's right. It seems impossible. Like when someone just finishes their online course and they're so proud of it and ready to publish, the one question, the rain cloud question I like to ask is, okay, what's next? Or what other 2 products that you can go create right now, today, or in the next 48 hours that you can put alongside this online course so that it seems more enticing, that you can make more money per customer and that people will love you for it. People don't just want to buy a hamburger. Sometimes they like to buy the fries and Coke with it as well. Make it a whole happy meal. That's what we're here for. We're here for the happy meals. Okay. So let's tackle question number 1. What's the opportunity? We've taken some screenshots of Matt's social channels. He's got, good grief, he's got 3.48 million YouTube subscribers. He's okay. He's doing fine. So we know he's got his YouTube revenue over there, but let's count that as our first number. We'll round up. We'll be charitable. We'll round up 3.5 million YouTube subscribers. Then we have on his Instagram account 383,000 followers. Okay, you can. Okay, great job, dude. Good, you're killing it. And then we go down to we don't normally pull Twitter, but Twitter he was at 101,000. So roughly, what's our math here, Taylor? It's 4 million.
Yeah, I was
in total.
Let's round up. What did we say? Don't do public math.
No.
But I think 4 million is pretty solid.
Yeah, so 4 million. So if we're following this rule of $1 per subscriber per year, can Matt look at his bank account at the end of the year? Can he look at his profit and loss or his revenue sheet at the very end of the year and say, I made at least $4 million this year? And if the answer is no, then there's always room for improvement, because we've got Samcart creators that are making $2 per subscriber. They're making $5. Some are making $10 per subscriber per year, and they have only 10,000 followers. You don't have to have millions and millions of followers to make millions and millions of dollars per year. There are people with way less followings making way more money. So what we're trying to figure out is, this is the potential. This is the baseline that Matt's working with. He has 4 million subscribers basically. So at a minimum, and we haven't even counted his email list and his podcast. So at a minimum, can he say, yes, I made $4 million this year? Not to say you're going to make $1 from everybody, but just as a baseline, $4 million per year is kind of our target for Matt's business. The next question, what are they promoting? Taylor, you went to some of their link in bio. You went to a couple different links in their description. What does it lead us to? I think you've got that pulled up on your website or on your page here.
Yeah. So first of all, the website is gorgeous. I just had to throw that out there. Shout out to his branding team. But what I do appreciate about his website is it's actually very obvious right here at the top. He's got courses, podcasts, a secret podcast, and then you kind of get to know him a little bit better as you kind of scroll through. And still, there's plenty of links to get you back to that. And then it's the same whenever we're looking at his YouTube page. Like, it has all of the links listed there. So it's very obvious that the main things that he seems to be promoting is courses, podcast, and then you have over here in the corner like his social media, so you could go straight to his YouTube, straight to his Instagram or Twitter. So it's very clear in my opinion, and I'd say this is pretty solid in terms of like what he's promoting. He's put it right there in your face. On his Instagram, you can see that he's linking it right back to one of his main courses. So
Perfect. Why don't we do kind of a walkthrough, because I've got it mapped out here over on our Miro board, but let's go to the kind of main page that we want to focus on today, slowgrowth.com. Yeah, why don't we check that out? Let me switch over here. There we go. So Taylor, these sales pages that he's worked up are incredibly long, and it's not bad. It's entertaining throughout.
absolutely.
Folks, if you want to go over to slowgrowth.com to kind of see what a very, very, very lengthy sales page looks like, again, I don't say that as a bad thing, but it's just copy, graphics, information. It's everything you want in a sales page that kind of guides the reader, the first-time visitor, from not knowing what this product is all the way down to hopefully conversion.
Yeah.
But kind of here kind of overall is like the sitemap. So we've got, if you just go to his link in bio and you go to slowgrowth.com, you're taken to just the kind of this landing page, homepage, and you can say explore courses. You can go to courses, about. You can go to the store, which I think they have like physical goods, merch,
Hmm.
notebooks, journals, things like, tote bags. But you can kind of and then they also have a call to action for your email address. Now, like, this is where it gets, we can start to critique like the nature of this landing page. What is the, when you're designing your page, when you're, especially a web page, not necessarily a SAM card page, but like when you're designing it, what are you thinking about? What's the one thing that you want your customer to do, your visitor to do? And when you add more options, when you add more choices, it can kind of muddle the results. So if you wanted everyone to click learn more, to say, I want to learn about the courses, that may be your target objective, but then now you're adding another call to action to say, okay, they might like, someone might sneak out the back door and they just add their email address. That's fine, because now they're on the snail mail list. But it's important to ask yourself, like, what do you want out of your website? What is the main target that you want, and what do you want people to do? And then ask the question the opposite: what do you want people to not do when they're on your website?
Yeah.
Uh, so, you go down, you're kind of learning more about it. Again, it's all these kind of explore courses, shop, join the community, check it out. So it's like kind of a broad sense, like, hey, here are everything that I kind of have. And if you do click explore courses, it takes you to this page right here. It takes you to just two little buttons that say simple habits and master YouTube. And there's supposed to be an image here, but I don't think it downloaded. But, and again, so we talked about this a while back. If you go back and watch our Chris Doe, the future takeover, we talked about this kind of straight line between social media and driving your customers straight to the product. And when you take them through click after click after click, you're going to lose some traffic. And then I think the rough number is every single page that you take your new customer to, you're going to lose 90% of your traffic. So if you start out with 100 people from social media, they click to your homepage, you now have 10 people. And then you take them to another page and maybe you just have one person. So just kind of you have to be conscious of that. Like, you're going to slowly lose people. The bucket gets smaller and smaller. The waste, you're kind of just wasting traffic and wasting effort the more clicks you put in the way of people. Anything
Yeah.
else to comment, Taylor?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, like, the page, like you said, it's beautiful. But if I'm spending more time scrolling to find something to buy versus really trying to deep dive into the rabbit hole of the website, I mean, that's what it feels like. A very beautiful, almost Alice in Wonderland kind of rabbit hole, but it seems to never end. And so attention spans are very, very light. So the longer that someone stays having to scroll to something, like you said, the more opportunity that it is for them to click off, because it's like, well, I didn't get to what I wanted to get to. So just keeping that in mind with that, keep the copy simple, say what you want to say, and then point them to direction of where do they go by. So I definitely would love to see this page a little bit more just shorter. Honestly, I think it looks beautiful, but there's just a lot of information which can translate to a lot of overwhelm if you're not careful.
Yeah, and you got to be conscious about website speeds too. If someone's on their phone, they have to load this entire page before they can start to understand what it is that they're looking at. So the kind of journey that they take is they go from either YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. They land on this landing page because that's what they're leading to. Then they're kind of given this fork in the road to say, do you want the 2 products, Simple Habits, or do you want Master YouTube? So if you go to Simple Habits, it then takes you to another sales page, another landing page where you can watch his video sales letter, or VSL as we call it. You can say, count me in, and then that will take you to the actual checkout page. Taylor, do you have that pulled up on your website? Why don't we just do a live demo of like going
Yeah.
through that process? But again, it's a very lengthy page. It's a great sales argument. But again, like it's click after click after click. You're going from, it's you're thinking about like, okay, what's the price of this product? Is it, usually more expensive products yield a longer sales page, a longer sales argument. And it's just like, do you need all this copy? Do you need to send them on this entire journey? Or is it better to just send them on this straight path from, I like this product, I hear about this product, I want to click on the link and I want to go straight to checkout.
Yeah, so here we are on the page where you have the option of doing either the Master YouTube or Simple Habits. Master YouTube, just a heads up, is closed, so we won't be able to go through that one. But if we wanted to join Simple Habits, then we'll go to learn more. And like you said, we have this gorgeous page again. There's the count me in button there, which is great. But then again, I don't know if you can see how far my cursor is, but like there's a huge scroll. So I won't put you guys through that. So we'll go to count me in. And as you can see, it just shot us all the way halfway down the page. That's still pretty long. But now we have these 2 options for either we can do the one-time payment or the 5 monthly payments. So let's say we want to do the one-time payment. Now we're going to yet another page.
Yep.
And here we are. We can finally actually add and proceed to checkout. But like I said, that took us all the way down to the bottom. And so that can be really, really difficult to get to when you don't even have the ready to go, put your credit card information in, here are your 2 payment options and go. We have to click through one of those options just to get to the part where I actually can spend money. And even now I would have to
wait a
update
minute. You have to click again. There's no credit card information yet.
Right. Just about to say that. Now I got to
Oh.
proceed to checkout.
Oh my God.
Then I can do all the things. And this is the part that we need to offer people immediately, as soon as possible. So that was about what, 3-4 clicks, almost 5, just to get
no, we're way further than that. Hang on. Let me count it out here on my page. We got from social media so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to that cart page, and then now 6 to the credit card checkout page. So 6 clicks, 6 web page loads, and if you're on your phone, good luck hopefully loading all that to now saying, okay, now I'm ready to put my money down. Now I've got my credit card. But let's go through this checkout page. What information is on here? What are they asking for?
Yeah, so they're asking for your standard kind of information. They want your name, your billing, and it looks like there's an opportunity to create an account, so you can be able to come back, or that might be to set up the course, to make sure that you can get logged in. You've got code, then you've got your payment choice, whether you want to receive articles or not in your email inbox, and then your terms and conditions. But I'm not seeing anything else. And so, he's got a store here. Why are there no opportunities within here? So that's one thing else that I'm kind of noticing is like, cool, all the information is standard, but there's a lot of room here to ensure that, more could be happening on this page.
And what's our total price? What's the most money that we can pay Matt at this point?
At this point, he's only getting $245. And
$245.
if you're a fan, like we're talking 4 million fans at this point in some form or fashion. So if I am like, oh my God, I love that documentary, I want to learn the things, I want to also get into the minimalist lifestyle, I've only got this one opportunity, even though there's more.
Okay. Yeah. Let's give the benefit of the doubt. Let's go back to that cart update page, and then let's see if we can add anything else. Let's see if there's like some, maybe like a journal we can add, or another course, or we can't add the YouTube mastery course. You said that's totally closed off.
Yeah. So let's see if I go here to store, let's say, okay, we've got a print, a notebook, and a gift card. Let's say I want the gift card.
Okay.
Or excuse me, the notebook. And we'll add that.
So now we're doing like a total e-commerce checkout experience, very Shopify-like experience where you're
Right.
shopping around. Okay, so you add to cart. Okay. So now we could add to order a little bit. There's some form of it, but again,
Yeah.
we're now 6 total clicks deep, like 6 web page loads. So folks, if you're watching this right now, like go to your own website, go on your phone, go to social media, and follow your own product. If you're trying to sell a course right now, how many clicks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? If you're trying to get to checkout right now, it's so hard to get people to buy alone. And once they have their credit card out, it's taken them there's so much effort that it's taken for them to get that wallet out, get the credit card, and start reading the numbers off and typing it in, that you have such a small margin of error to you just have such a small margin of error that if you mess up, if you put too many processes in front of people, that you're just going to lose them and you're going to annoy them and they're not going to have a great experience. And then by the time they do get your course and they do check out everything, are they happy with it? Are they excited? And are they excited to buy more? And if you were to put another offer in front of them, what would that even look like? Would they be excited to say yes to that? Or would they be so annoyed by the process that they're like, look, I've already given you $245. I've gone through this whole journey. I got nothing else. I just want this one course. That's it. Thanks. Bye.
Yep. Nailed it right on the head. Make it simple. Keeping things simple really is the best option for people. People get overwhelmed and people are emotional buyers. So when they're inspired, when they're ready to tackle on, being able to either follow a YouTube master course or be able to learn how to create habits that flow with the minimalist lifestyle, we don't want to lose that momentum of inspiration. We want to make sure that they have everything that they need up front. It's kind of like a buffet. While you're going through the line, you grab what you need. If you see it, grab it. See it, grab it. And that's kind of what we want to offer people.
Exactly. A huge miss. So the YouTube mastery page is shut down. My question is, why not? I mean, I understand. I've seen even like Ali Abdal do this for YouTube Growth Academy. With joining the waitlist, walk me through this, Taylor. Like, what would be the downside of taking a pre-sale order or like taking a payment reservation? Is there anything wrong with that to say, like, if I want to join the wait list and I'm aware that this doesn't start for 30 days, or I'm aware, hey, this doesn't start for another 60 days, but I still want to put my money down, reserve my spot.
Yeah.
What is there a downside to that?
I don't really think so. I think the only thing that crops up, which I could understand, is if this experience is like a one-on-one experience or like a group session where he's very heavily involved. So that makes sense, but it does not mean that you could not have, hey, maybe this course runs for 6 weeks at a time. I'll still have a reservation list. If you're ready to go, like here, you can check out. And the next time that we have slots open, you're in line, you're ready to go. And that way you could even book out your entire year for that. If you really wanted to, of like, okay, well, I'll go ahead and invest in this now, do what I can. And the minute that this opens up, I already have access. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to go back to it. I just start getting my emails to go through the course and, hop into these one-on-one coaching calls or whatever it may be. The other thought that I had is I'm curious as to why it's not even evergreen.
That's what I was thinking too. Is there an evergreen version? I mean, there's the cohort aspect of it. Like, hey, we're all gonna join. There's only 100 slots. There's only 500 slots in this. But yeah, is there a smaller version? Is there a junior version of this? Kind of like, hey, this isn't the full course. This is just the video lessons, or this is part 1 of the video lessons. If you want the full thing, that starts in October. Yeah, why not that? Or even, I mean, there's even the argument to say, hey, since you missed last cohort, if you want to get in now, it's full price. Or like there could be some kind of offer that you could put together to say, we're going to get started here in 60 days. But for the next 2 weeks, there's that. If you got people on your mailing list, you say like, hey, for the next 2 weeks, get in early, 90% off, 20% off, whatever deal you want to do. And then charge full price once the cohort fully opens up. There's so much room to kind of like reshuffle the deck to get your customers excited again and to get your prospects excited. Especially if they were just on a YouTube video, they watched something, they like this guy, just like you, like, hey, I want to know how this guy makes videos, what camera is this person using, and if you got that momentum and you've got that credit card in your hand and you're ready to go, let's go. Just like, hey, just get out of my way. Don't need to say like to hit that dead end. It's such a buzzkill to say, hey, join the wait list. We'll get around to it. It's just like if you sell physical products and you go to the site and you go to the page and it says sold out or back order or coming soon. You're kind of like, are you going to get around to buying that again when it does come back in stock, or are you going to answer that email when they do send it out, say, hey, it's back in stock? Most likely no, and that can kill a lot of your momentum. A lot of there are physical stores out there, or even e-commerce stores selling physical products that once you go out of stock, you lose your momentum and you kind of have to start from scratch and find a way to get everybody excited again to once you get back in stock. And yeah, with digital products, with a course, you never need to be out of stock.
Exactly. And I even could see, for both courses, especially since the Mastermind YouTube one is closed off, what about a self-guided version or like a PDF guide of like, hey, if you don't really want to sit and listen or watch a bunch of videos, you'd rather just kind of read through everything, take that same, those same videos, throw it in something like Descript or something like that to create a written guide for it and then go for it. That way you can have something up front of like, hey, here's the gear list that I used, or here are the different what different LUTs that I use to color grade all of
Sure.
my, things like that. So you could easily provide smaller, more bite-sized things or a modified version of something if you are offering a more immersive experience. That way they don't, leave feeling empty-handed of like, I had an opportunity to do this and I missed out. But at least they have something in the meantime to kind of tie them over.
Right. Or someone who doesn't have $245 to spend, someone that just has $30. They want to show their support. They don't want to just do kind of a simple tip jar, and maybe
Yeah.
they don't want to commit to the Patreon. But yeah, a LUT, a gear list, a Canon, Sony package, something, some kind of filmmaker's preset that could get your video to look like Matt Diavella's. There is one Samcart creator that we shared today on our Instagram page that I want to show. It is Mark Bones, and he is selling what is called the art of the documentary. And I think this is a great example of how Matt could maybe reshuffle the deck for slowgrowth.com to make a little bit more of a direct line between Instagram and YouTube and going straight to the product page, learning about the product, and then checking out. And this is actually probably one step more than what I would like. But Mark's got this page here, the art of documentary. At the very top, you can say join now, and it takes you straight to these 3 different products. So Mark's selling these 3 different types of courses: module 1, module 2. So kind of like, think volume 1, volume 2. Then he just has this new course called the Create and Earn. But right from the homepage, you can go here, say join now, and I can click buy now. And right here, boom, it's asking me for my credit card information. It's asking me just for my name and email address. He has billing address here, but I would even tell Mark to take off billing address. You don't have to have billing address. It's a digital product. I don't need to know where you live. And payment options, because the course can be expensive. I'm sure YouTube Mastery or Master YouTube can be, I'm sure it can be like $4,000, $5,000. So offer them, 5 payments of $1,000, 2 payments of $2,500. And then you have all these extra bonus add-ons. So he's got module 2 here. So if you're buying module 1, you just want the foundations, and you're like, oh wait, no, I feel like, you like kind of feel like you're in a dead end as a customer. You're like, wait, I want something else. I want more. You just have this order bump right here, and you just say add to order, and you're rocking and rolling. And then you can say, oh, but I want the other course too. All you have to do is click the order bump, add to order, and you're ready to go. Here, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so it's easier to see.
Yeah.
But this page is mobile friendly. And then Taylor, like you just suggested, the kind of smaller things, the smaller products. Mark's got this toolkit, essential pre and post production kit. You got your LUTs, your sound effects, your treatments, templates. Folks, if you've got any kind of template that you work off of, every time you start a project, every time you go into Photoshop and you do this, every time you go into Logic and make a music project that looks like this, every single time that you do these kind of basic, simple things, Word document, Excel spreadsheet, every time you're doing these very simple, basic things that you think are just mundane, routine, I do them every day. I just open this, I file, save as new, duplicate this, and I start my day. That is super valuable to somebody out there that is think of the 5-year younger version of yourself. What were you doing 5 years ago? What were you doing 2 years ago that you definitely needed that template? Or how much would you have paid for back then to get that template, to get that easy duplicate link? And it's something like this. You can just say, hey, it's $97. You can add to order. And, Mark has gone from, for example, $429 all the way up to a $1,500 cart order by just saying, I want everything. I want it all together. And I think Matt could probably take some notes here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since it's all right there. There's bundle options, which is something that we do offer. So you're able to create a whole suite of things where it feels very much like it's just right in front of you. And all you have to do is just pick what you want, instead of having to go chase down what parts that you want. Can you imagine if all of these were separate pages and you're now having to click through so many things just to get, hey, I want to add module 2 and 3 and 4, when it's just like, hey, if you want to take it all on at once, here you go. All you have to do is click here and you're done.
Exactly. Yeah, he's got basically 4 separate Samcart pages here, all leading to different products. But like you said, he's got one here that you can just say, I want it all. I want it all together, 1, 2, and 3, and offer payment plans since it's a little pricier. And you're ready to go. You're ready to check out. This was 2 clicks. This was from Instagram to here. 1, 2. Here we go, filling out the form. Like now, once they have that momentum, once they see that ad, once they see that new trailer that you launch on YouTube to say, hey folks, I got a new course, say it's here, just click the link, click the link in the description. Like they're ready to go. They're excited. But to put those barriers in front of them, to put every single page in front of them, you're going to waste your momentum. You're going to waste it.
Absolutely. And I think with the whole buy more situation, like this is what we mean by how easy is it to buy more? Like, is it very simple? Are we having to do a whole lot of overload work just to get to additional options for somebody? I know everybody's really into, kind of the e-commerce store setup where you're constantly scrolling through all these options, but at the same time, it can be really overwhelming. So just putting together all of the things that make sense, like those complementary things, like your templates, like your guides, things like that, making it easy during checkout, it's a no-brainer. So
perfect. All right, folks, we're going to do last call for questions, but somebody did ask a question earlier. Let me grab it real quick. Okay, here's a Samcart question. Taylor, you want to answer this one? When somebody buys a course, do they receive a confirmation email from Samcart? Where can I customize the emails?
Yeah, so you have a couple of options with this. First of all, the answer is yes. You do receive an email confirmation whenever somebody buys a course. And the way that we have it set up is that you can create a product page for your course and then you link them together. And so there are ways for you to customize the emails. And I'll even do you a favor and drop that link in the chat for a guide for what type of emails there are, which ones
Nice.
you can customize, and where you can find that in your marketplace settings to make sure that that's set up. So you can definitely send emails anytime someone buys a product from you, and be able to kind of set it up how you want to. Of course, we do integrate with other, third-party providers, so you can always go that route too if you'd like. We are very friendly with a lot of them. So they even have integrations within Samcart with like MailChimp, Constant Contact? There's a bunch.
Yeah, tons of them.
Yeah, and that way you can, within Samcart, set up an integration of like, hey, when somebody buys this, I want you to send this email. So you've definitely got a lot of choices here.
Nice. And folks, if you're on Samcart, this is how you do it. You go inside your product, and then you go over to your emails here, and then you just hit that toggle right there and say customize emails. So now you can send yourself test emails. You can customize the emails to say, I want it to say this. I wanted to include a customer hub button so that they can manage their own account, manage their own payment methods. And then you can add short codes to customize it to their first name or to the name of the product that they have or to their order number, however you want to do it. And it's great.
Off to the races.
All right. Let's see. Another question. I think this is about ebook creation. Let's go through this one. I'm new to online course. This is from Shireen. I'm new to online course and ebook creation. Loads of content stored away, just putting it all together coherently and monetizing to provide a pragmatic, organize it without so much overwhelm. Hopefully today I'll find a simpler way forward. Yeah. Any thoughts to keep it simple, Taylor? To keep it moving forward.
Yeah, think about what information makes sense to learn first and what's like bonus. Think about, I like to think about, when people talk about sports and how you learn the fundamentals first. You're not doing all the advanced tactics and plays. You're just learning how do I dribble the basketball, or how do I throw the football or catch it or whatever. So whenever you have a lot of content to share with people and you're not sure what should go out first, what's the simplest thing that you can put out there that makes sense in whatever it is that you're trying to teach or provide? So if it's just a simple, I'll use us for example, how to set up your marketplace, right?
Mhm.
That could be a whole course in and by of itself. And then we can go into more advanced stuff. And then we can go more into like sales tactics, things like that. So take your content. I love like the whole classic sticky notes, write the names on them and just order them in the way that it makes sense for them to go. And then just start with one sticky note. And that'll be the first thing that you put on a product page and sell. And then if it's like, okay, well, with this first one, these two make sense as a 2 and 3 step, and they're the companions to this first one. Those can be your order bumps, just like we just showed with the documentary thing of like, hey, there's module 1, but we also have 2, 3, and 4. And if you're down for it, go ahead and add that to your order bumps. So organizing your content in a way that you want people to learn it or makes sense in how it flows is the first step that I would take. And then just start with the first one and promote that. And then the second one, and then the third. And by that point, especially if you've already got a large audience, they're already fans. They're waiting for you to put things out. It'll be a lot easier to flow through. So I definitely understand the content overwhelm. I got a lot of stuff that I want to put out there because you get excited for it. But just start with what's the order that makes the most sense, and then go from
Mhm.
there.
I'm going to go against the grain with my answer. And I would say to not make a course or to not make an ebook and to figure out just the pre-selling aspect. Before you spend 10 hours building a course, before you spend 100 hours researching and writing an ebook, talk with your customers, put together like just create a template on or create a graphic on Canva, make make a product mock-up, make it kind of look like some kind of a product. And then share that with your audience to see if they would give you $20 for it. Share it with them to say like, hey, do the kind of Kickstarter method. Like, hey, this is in development. I'm thinking about making this. It's $10 now. I'm going to charge $100 when it's out full price. You want to help out. You want to put down $10 to see, get in early, be an early contributor. And the nice part about that is either answer is a good answer. If you get a lot of sales and a lot of attention from it, great. That means you've got the money now to go make the course, to go write the ebook. You got that energy, and you've got people actually excited, waiting on you. They're texting you, they're emailing you because you got their money now, and they're like, "Hey, when's this ebook coming out? When's this course coming out?" The other side, which might seem like a sad thing, like, okay, I didn't get any sales, I didn't get any attention. Well, think of all the time that you've saved by not writing that 100-hour ebook, by not filming that 10-hour course that no one was going to buy. And I kind of push that, like, maybe think about doing a pre-sale, maybe think about testing the waters, doing some kind of test product to say like, hey, is this something that people would buy? And then try to see if you can get, the hardest part is try to get money from someone. Say like, hey, would you put down $10 for this? Would you put down $5 for this? Is this valuable enough? If the answer is yes, great. If the answer is no, great.
I want to get a shirt that says beta testing is your bestie, because it really is. Just giving people a sneak preview, even if we combine these two of like, okay, I've got all the content ironed out of what makes sense to go in what order, but is this going to do well? Hey, I actually saw an ad literally the other day, where he's like, I just need 5 people and I'll give you half off. And basically they were doing like done for you shooting your video courses for you. So like, hey, we'll write the script, we'll make sure your copy looks good, and then we'll take 48 hours and we'll get together and we'll shoot the entire content for you to see if that's a service that works. I need 5 people to sign up for this. If you do, we'll cut our services in half to see if this works for you. All we ask for is a testimonial and feedback if this flow didn't work for you. So that's another route that you could go, is like, if you already have some of the content already ready to go, slash the price, do a pre-order, and just see, hey, I just need 10 people. I'll give it to you half off if you go through this first module of my course. It's already built out.
Yes.
All I want is a testimonial from you and honest feedback if you gained anything from it. That way, you don't have to take this backlog and then immediately throw it out there. You can validate that gatekeeper is actually going to get people in the door.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah. Watch lesson 1. Here's lesson 1 for free. What do you think? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That is going to wrap up. Taylor, any last thoughts? Any takeaways from Matt Diavello, our friend here?
Yeah, I think I really like this, and I hope that people can see like so far, dude is doing great. Like, there's no hate over here. There's absolutely no shade. Like, dude is on it, and obviously he's doing really well in promoting what he has. He's got a huge fan base. It's just about simplifying it and trimming down the fat a little bit, to make sure that people can easily get to what you want to get to. And that's probably my biggest takeaway, especially as I'm thinking about redoing my own website. Is like, don't make it too bloated. Keep it simple, make it look nice, but also let people get to the good part as quickly as possible, and don't forget to include those little sprinkles of extra on top, so that way they can buy more if you've got more to offer. So that's my biggest takeaway.
Perfect. Oh, and Shireen says, awesome advice. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome, Shireen. Okay, we're going to do last call for questions. We have one question coming in. Oh, wow. Okay. Breakthrough Premium Products. We operate a 7-figure Amazon physical products business. We were considering creating a course teaching people how to start their own business and get started on Amazon. But one, we have imposter syndrome. And two, there's still lots of Amazon courses out there. How do we differentiate?
Ooh.
To answer the, I guess, 1 and 2 is yes, people have talked about this. Yes, there is a math textbook out there, but there's also another math textbook out there, and then another math textbook. But there's also your perspective. You are the most unique part about your course. And that sounds very lovey-dovey, woo-woo, but we can all talk about the same thing. Taylor and I can both create the same product or same course about how to use SamCard, but we're all both going to take different perspectives. We're both going to take, we're going to prioritize different things. We're going to say this information is more important than this information. But the tricks and tools and tactics that you have learned as an Amazon seller are very unique. So you packaging that up and you prioritizing and say like, I wish I knew this 5 years ago. The only person that you're selling to is someone is I can't even say it right. Like, sell to yourself 5 years ago. That's how I say it. Your younger self 5 years ago. What problems were they experiencing? And that's all you need to focus on.
Yeah, same. Like, you are your product at the core. Like, yes, you might have produced like a video course or, an ebook or whatever, but people are drawn to you and what you're offering and how you want to present that. And I'll say this. Yes, there are tons of different ebooks, courses, and stuff like that about how to do selling on Amazon. But at the same time, there are tons of people who are making well enough money, and they're all doing literally the same thing. They just have their spin on it, their take on it, how they run it. So there's over 7 billion people in the world. There's enough room for everybody, especially in the creator economy. So I know imposter syndrome can really sometimes get down to that little voice in your head. But at the end of the day, would you regret not doing it, or at least going through it and learning from that experience, and then being able to take, okay, what worked when I did throw it out there, what didn't, and just tweaking a little bit and then doing it again. You're never going to find out until you throw it out there.
There you go. Oh, Taylor, we got a naysayer in the chat. Taylor, what do you have to say? This sounds good in theory, but in practice, people won't buy a pre-sale ebook from an ad. Will they? Won't they?
I've seen it. I feel like it's one of those teach its own kind of thing. I mean, think about it. Physical books have pre-orders, right? Tickets to concerts have pre-orders. Digital movies have pre-orders. Pre-orders do work. If it doesn't fit for you, that's totally okay. We're definitely not saying that everybody has to do a pre-order. Line it up to what feels good with your business. That's the one thing that we definitely promote, is like, do what feels good for you, but know that there are options. But we just always say, hey, try it once, maybe try it twice. And if you don't know, or if you're not sure if it's going to go through, nothing hurts than trying. Set yourself a small ad budget. Then, hey, I'm not going to go past this much if I'm going to throw an ad out there. And that's something that's actually pretty cool about even the creator that we're talking about today, is Matt. Is he literally has a YouTube channel that shows him doing one thing for 30 days and seeing how it turns out. So don't be afraid to try it, but definitely follow your gut and what feels good for you and your business. I would just say, if something feels weird in your gut and in your soul, and you're like, is it because I genuinely don't want it to work, or I genuinely don't think that it'll work for my business, or I'm just nervous about what might happen if it doesn't work? And so usually as someone who's battled imposter syndrome so much, it's just like, what am I actually afraid of? Because if it does work, well, then I just found out that it did. But if it doesn't, it's okay. I can learn from
Mm-hmm.
that experience. So, of course, to each his own. If you don't want to do a pre-sale ad, you absolutely don't have to. Just play around with it. It doesn't hurt to give it a shot if you want to.
Yeah, I guess what the context that we should add to our pre-sale is that the risk that you're trading with your customer. They're taking a risk by buying a product that doesn't exactly exist yet. So the risk trade-off is to say, okay, instead of paying full price for something that is established, that exists, you're going to pay a discounted price. You're going to pay an early bird special. You're going to pay the Kickstarter bonus. Versus like once this goes out into the world, out into the wild for real, it's going to be full price. So like that's the trade-off. Like, hey, if this is normal price $100, since you're an early contributor, since you're willing to take a risk as a beta tester, I'll sell it to you for $10. And you take the you take the risk, you take that safe mindset going home. Like, hey, I saved myself $90. Hey, if this doesn't work out, I only put $10 down instead of $100. That's the kind of trade-off. So that's the kind of pitch you put onto your sales page to say, hey, come get this book. It doesn't exist yet, but we only have a limited amount of spots, ad scarcity. We are closing the gate in a week or 30 days. The pre-sale order is going to close or end. Add some urgency, and then you're going to trade off that risk to say, hey, you get your money back guarantee, and instead of paying $100 full price, you're only going to pay $10 and get 90% off. It's a deal of the century. Get it now. You'd be crazy to say no. So that's the trade-off. That's the argument that you have to make with your customers.
Yeah. Looks like we got another one. Let's see. So Shireen says, I see so many people using funky videos for courses and social media. How do you do that on a low budget? I'm thinking about using infograms, pictures, and audio and video instead.
Low budget, right here. This thing right here, get it out, take a selfie, video. These cameras are good enough to rock anyone's world. You don't need the cameras, you don't need the lights, you don't need the microphones. I would just if you were not a video editor at heart, if you were not a filmmaker at heart, just keep it very simple and just talk to the camera, tell people your story.
Yep. And infograms, pictures, and using like stock photos and audio, videos, like that's cool too. Feel free to do that. Again, it's all about your comfort level. But if it's a thing where like you feel like it needs to be this huge production, like you said, a lot of things that are converting now is seeing real people with the messy bed in the background and their dad hat on and the hair's not always great and the makeup might not be on. Like people are gravitated towards, I can relate to this. So sometimes those really high quality productive commercial like videos can sometimes hurt people because it's like, that doesn't feel realistic. I can't get close to that. So pull that phone out, hit that selfie, and just say what you got to say because they're connecting with you. Remember, it's about what you're bringing. But if you want to, use infograms or, photos and audios over video, like that's totally fine too. Because plenty of people still do it. I still see people using the whiteboarded cartoony ads and it still converts. So it's really just about the audience that you're trying to reach. Remember, think about who's that one target customer, that perfect person that you're wanting to sell to, and just focus on them. Don't think about the how many thousands and hundreds of people that you're trying to gain. Think about just that one person, sell to that one person, set it up to that one person, and everybody else who follows and flows with that will come with it.
Yep. Doesn't matter the means of the message. What matters is the message. Are you speaking to my problems? If you're speaking to my exact problems and I'm looking for the solution, I don't care if it's on a found footage, dusty old MP3, dusty CD that I got to pop into somewhere. Like, I don't care. This has the secret. This has the answers. I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to engage with this story, no matter the delivery.
All great stuff. What about you, Jordan? What's your takeaway from today?
My takeaway is, drawing that straight line from social media to your website. When you have that buyer's momentum, when they are ready to buy, when they're excited, get out of their way. Just go from page 1 to page 2, and that's it. And however, to speak to Matt, to be the digital minimalist, like this checkout process needs some minimalism. We need to trim it down, not be so elaborate and the huge message in page after page after page. If I'm ready to buy $245, I got my credit card out, just get out of my way. I'm ready to go. That's it.
That sounds good to me.
All right, folks. Thank you guys for watching. Let me drop this little chat right here. So every Tuesday here at 4 p.m. Eastern, if you want to register for this event next week and the week after and many weeks ahead, every single Tuesday, we're doing a Tuesday takeover here on the Sam Card YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, of course, you got to subscribe, add your thumbs up. If you're in the chat right now, we are now at 55 minutes. Type 55, or if you're watching this video a year later from now, type 55 in the comments and let me know that you made it all the way to the 55-minute mark. We love you so much. We're out. We'll see you next week. Taylor, my name is Jordan, and yeah, let's end the show. Thanks.
Bye, everybody.